Welcome to tonight's Sunday night mindset map out the week outlook call. I want to thank you guys for being on this call tonight. I know there is a new guest, so if you feel like asking any questions, go ahead and just chat in the chat box. I'll go ahead and answer any of your questions. Um, my name's Isaiah. I don't know if you've already gotten a brief just overview on who I am. If not, either way, I'm doing this recording for also people that are liking the opportunity of trading and just overall bettering their life on Sunday calls. I'm giving them also an opportunity to introduce themselves to myself. My name is Isaiah. I'm 30 years old. For the people that don't know me, I've been doing this for about 3 years, from Colorado to Arizona to California to now in Michigan. This is something that I highly encourage every single person to at least look into in their lives, just because you can make some money online building something that won't take you apart from your family. And that's what I love the most about this. So that's a little bit about my story. Obviously, as you get to know me more, you'll get to know me more if you choose to do that. But for the people that are just here to receive the opportunity, receive what we have here tonight, and possibly make some money later down the road, then that's what we're here for, and that's what these calls are here for as well on Sundays. So a little bit about what we're going to talk about tonight will be about believing, affirming, and repeating. A lot of the times we have a hard time in life believing and affirming. We believe, but we don't want to affirm because we don't want to necessarily look stupid. If you, I guess you can use that word. A lot of people are grown-ups, so the people that are going to watch this on the replay, hopefully you guys don't get offended by that word. But yeah, it's kind of stupid to some people when you start affirming things like, I believe that I can make things happen. I believe that I can build this business and get me to travel, whether it's locally, whether it's globally, whether you have a vision for expansion, whatever the case may be. It looks kind of dumb when you believe it right silently. It's okay, but when you believe it out loud, that's when people start looking at you funny. Or when somebody asks you, what are you doing? Hey, I'm building this network marketing business. Or hey, I'm building this online trading community. I'm writing books, which I have done myself. They still look at you like, bro, shouldn't you go get a job? And it's like, bro, do you realize how much work it takes to put this stuff together? Once you fall in love with something, you won't ever let anybody just fool you into anything. And that's the truth. Once you find out what it is that you want to do, you won't let just any regular job just come into your life and just say, hey, this is the one that I want to do. Because I know a lot of the people that start trading, they think about this long term. They think about this in the term of, okay, I'm going to learn year one, year two, year three. Possibly I can move into a different position in my life 5, 6 years down the road. I know we have a student right now that she's doing really well. I just want to give her a shout out because she's been doing really well with her trading. She's only been involved with us for about 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and she's already getting up to speed with trading and understanding certain levels of trading. Obviously, there's deeper levels of trading, but what I like to see is how it's helping others. That's my main point. I love that these calls are helping people like her. I love calls like these because they help me also stay in tune with the market, because Sunday's a big day for people that are traders. Sunday's a big day also for people that go work a job, because tomorrow's when you go to your job, or whatever it is that you do in life. And Monday's usually that next day to where it feels different from the weekend. And that's where a lot of people have found value in these calls, because this is a call to remind you guys that there's hope, that you can build a business just like this, to speak to others, to speak to community leaders, and just really inspire others to be better, right? Because it's really about being better about ourselves and about what it is that we're doing. So when when things are not going your way, that's when it's up to us to believe bigger. Okay, like when things weren't going our way, for instance, with the presidential election, which is still up in court for whatever reason, maybe. I'm not going to get into politics too much, but I know that is taking a lot of the nation's soul, right? Which is why I developed these calls. And I didn't just do this today. I've been doing this for about 6 weeks, or 6 months, I should say. 6 weeks with Oxa, but 6 months now for MindsetUTrade. And this is just something that I've seen that the country needs, because a lot of people don't think that they need a call like this. So they'd rather watch Kim Kardashian, or they'd rather watch whatever it is that they watch, but that's not feeding their brain education that's going to help them pursue their money later down the road. when pandemics like this happen, because a lot of people, they just sat at home and hope for the government to do something when the government wasn't really doing anything. I say that from experience because I'm an economist by trade, because that's what I do. But I saw that the numbers weren't really moving at all. So I saw that a lot of people were losing a lot of things. People were in just predicaments that they didn't find themselves, ever, being in. So I see that, this opportunity is just growing. It's actually one of the top grossing opportunities, which is public speaking and mentoring other people. So if you'd like to, step into something like this, let me know, message me. Obviously, you got to get into it gradually. You're not going to jump into something, figure it out all in one day. You probably, like me, are going to feel like you can't do this, and that's okay. It's okay to be honest about those things, because you're going to start filling your life with different reasons to keep believing, because those are the reasons that are going to keep you alive in every season, no matter what season. We've been through some lows that, if I were to share those lows with you in this call, we'd probably take quite a bit of time doing that, and I'm not going to do that. But just know that this is an opportunity for everybody, for all walks of life. I know that when I first got started with what I'm doing now, I started through a company, and then I independently started doing what I'm doing now, which is what I encourage other people to do. Trade for yourself. Trade, because it's going to create more freedom for your life. It's just going to allow you to open up to others, to businesses, to communities, and to your life more than anything. It's going to give you a light that you never thought was going to ever come into your life. I promise you that. Because once you understand finances at a government level, you understand that you don't really need a paycheck. You just need to find money to, really pursue what it is that you're doing. And I'm talking about like hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, to restore the earth. That's some of the goals that we have here at Mindset U with, Amanda and myself, being newly married and having a newborn. What we like to do is encourage other families to also do something for their son, for their kids, because this is something that we're going to build on for years to come. Obviously people are going to need motivation always. There's always things that we do that, we shouldn't be doing. There's always things also that we do that we could be doing better, right? Taking things for granted is what I want to talk about next. Taking things for granted is something that universal law, God, whatever it is that you choose to believe in, I'm not going to impose my beliefs on you, but it has a great way of taking it back if you take advantage of something. For instance, a lot of people, they started all hyped up on these calls. When I first started doing them, there was like 5, 10, 15 people on the calls. And then all of a sudden people lose consistency because they feel like, oh yeah, you know what? He's going to say the same thing, yada, 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 whatever the case may be. Even if the person was saying the same thing, which my mentor does, he says the same thing all the time. He's 86 years old and he doesn't have anything wrong with his mind. What I realize is that you don't have to switch things up. We switch things up because people tell us. We don't need to switch things up if things are working. I find that this is working for me. It's working pretty well. So that's why I'm not switching anything. A lot of people think that I need to do more, do this, do that, whatever the case may be. I feel happy doing what I'm doing, and that's what I'm encouraging you ladies as well to do, and every single person also that's going to watch this video on the replay, because we do have viewers on the replay, because we do upload these videos on YouTube so that people can rewatch them, so people can share them with other people, and earn a profit from them. Because people that are a part of Mindset U, what I do, I from time to time, every other week, I like to send those viewers money. If you're live on a call and you share the video the way we ask you to share it, we'll send you some Cash App money. So if you don't have Cash App downloaded already, go ahead and download that Cash App for you. That way, if you do join our group and our movement, you can also receive Cash Apps like, some of our students have received. Um, so a great way of, just understanding what it is that you need to do is by just taking choices, staying firm in your choices and your convictions. That's really what you're gonna, live your life by. You can't be saying that you're gonna be on a call, or you can't be saying you want to learn trading, and then next week, all of a sudden you got the flu, or all of a sudden your kid can't let you cooperate. Those are things that we need to understand as adults, as grown-ups, as masters of our crafts, that those come in play no matter what. Like, our kids are gonna cry, but we have to understand how to plan around those things. Prior proper planning will prevent piss poor performance. Okay, so if you don't have a notebook handy, go ahead and write this down on the replay. Okay, prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. The reason I say this, and the reason I have you guys write stuff down, is mentors that shared this with me said, Isaiah, the reason I'm making a lot of money, and I'm not saying me, but my mentors, is because I write everything down. I'm making enough to, be able to move around like I shared with you guys in the beginning, and be able to be comfortable in what it is that I'm doing, and have the opportunity to make more money later as well. Like my mentors, 6, 7, 8 figures, right? But they always encourage me to write down notes, no matter what it is that I was doing, no matter what it is that I was a part of. Write notes, because notes will help you keep what it is that you want to attract, right? We want to raise our level of vibration. I don't know if you've ever heard about vibration, but if you haven't, um, vibration is simply the way you feel, right? The way you feel can change by the way you think. A lot of people think that a feeling comes from just another person. No, no, no. A feeling is projected usually from within. If I feel like there's something wrong with this call, it's because I feel like there's something wrong with this call. And then people on the other end are going to feel unmotivated, or they're not going to feel like coming onto the call, right? That's a part of the silent energy. Another part of the silent energy is the other person may not be receiving anything, they just don't care, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, the silent energy is still being expressed. And whatever is being silent will also be visible. Okay, so everything invisible will become visible. I've shared this in other talks before, and that's the law of perpetual transmutation. Everything invisible is turning into physical form. So everything that you think about now and wish and desire, you will attract later in life. For instance, me and my wife were actually talking about this today. She actually wrote on Facebook, this is like on record, because documentation will be any type of conversation. And I like to factually share stuff with people. So a lot of this stuff is shared on Facebook. A lot of this stuff is shared on Instagram. A lot of this stuff is shared on YouTube. And if you go all the way back, it's all there. But she was sharing with me about her smart card, because we had a smart card, right? And she was like, babe, like, I remember wanting that car in 2010. And I got that car, right? So she shared with me, if I had known you back then, I would have wished for what I wanted back then, because it came true. She got her car. She got the car she wanted. Now, why am I saying this? Because we cut ourselves short sometimes because we believe that we're worth our paycheck, or we're worth what we are living right now. We are worth abundantly an infinite amount of money. Like if you were to put it in money or in gold or in silver, whatever it is that you want to put it, because God treasures you. Like if you believe in God, I believe in God personally. God treasures you, and he believes that you're highly favored. He believes that you're a queen. He believes that you're a king. If you're a guy watching this as well, he believes in us. He believes that we are highly favored. So when we talk bad about ourselves, that's like the bad guy. That's the devil in us. That's the dysfunctional side of us speaking out. Because there's nothing under the heavens that we can't do. There's everything but opportunity in front of us. That's all there is. And that's when you start seeing those things for your life starts changing, and you start seeing different plays play out. You start seeing magical equations like quarters in the middle of LA just being dropped that are like worth $5,000, and you're just like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, how did I run into that? The timing, me preparing for these calls, because I always prepare for everything that I do in life, and I suggest that you guys do the same thing. Begin to question how you got here, to understand what God has already done through your light. Okay? Because He already did something through your light, through what you've been through. A lot of the times we don't want to be talking about what we've been through, but we do. Because at the end of the day, that brings power to somebody else. For instance, somebody else right now can be feeling like crap. And if I tell them about my story, about how I lost my mother when I was 18, and how I almost lost my father when I was 8, and how difficult those challenges were, that person might be saved by that grace, because they might be feeling like nobody listens to them or nobody cares about them. And that simple act of kindness, me laying my life down for my pride, right, will help somebody else win over their heart. Because a lot of the times we put barriers around our heart, and that's what doesn't allow us to say yes to our lives, right? That's what doesn't allow us to say yes to an opportunity like trading. So simple to just download an app, which will have you, do, if that's something you decide to do at the end of this call, just message us and we'll go ahead and plug you in with the apps to download and where to go. But these calls, I want to always invite you guys to these calls, because these calls on Sunday are so powerful. If you were able to apply these things in your life, you'll have the different outcomes that you need to have for your life. And I can only imagine how magical that's gonna look like in your life and how wonderful you're gonna feel, because I see Amanda's life, because before she was my wife, she was actually a student. She was my neighbor. Like, we actually just met that way. I introduced this concept to her, and ever since we've been working on building a business, and we ended up moving into doing our own business from the ground up because of the experience that I had, because of her law profession, which was a phenomenal thing for us here at Mindset U, which is something that I always encourage you guys to do. Just say yes to your projects, say yes to the people around you that you trust, because when you trust somebody, when you like something, it feels good inside, it feels good in your heart, it feels like the person's being genuine. You feel that in your heart, and you can't say no to those things, because those are the things that we want to be saying yes to, versus like those quick impulsive moves, like your friend asking you to go somewhere, or you being told to like just automatically just all of a sudden just go to a certain place, and maybe it's to have fun, but fun sometimes is not what's needed in our life. There's a season, there's a time for everything in our lives. Let's not just say yes to everything that's coming into our lives, but let's also not just be quick to reject everything. Let's be open to understand what it is that another person is doing and what they're trying to do, because that in itself allows you to make more money and allows you to bring more opportunity to your life. So all I did, and all I'm saying is, I said yes to my life. That is how I got here. I have learned a lot of valuable experiences along the way that I love sharing with everybody on every Sunday. So every Sunday I have a different, tune to my beat. This Sunday we have a new guest, Sha Shania. I'm glad that she said the name for me before I messed it up. Um, Shania on the call. I appreciate you for being on the call. You're from Colorado. Amanda told me a little bit about that. That's right. I'm from Denver, obviously originally from Denver, born and raised there. We just last left Denver to come to Detroit. We're actually looking back to probably going back to Denver because that's a great place for business right now. It's actually the 10th best place to live in the world. I don't know if you knew that, but that's a great fact. And I was just really happy about it. I'm like, oh my God, and they read over there? That's super exciting. Because there's a couple of books that I'm going to be writing here in the next few years to help just people with network marketing, with networking, and with building a life by design, because that's truly what these calls are about. Living a life by design, believing to affirm, right? Believing to affirm, to repeat that process, right? So that we can design our life exactly how it is that we want it. Okay. So if this is something that, you see yourself doing, let us know. We would love to get you plugged in with the opportunity like we have for Oxa and for other students. But if you like the Sunday calls, if you like the motivation, the encouragement, these calls are always going to be here for you. And for everybody that wants to listen in, people like Oxa, people like Amanda, people like Francisco, CJ, people that hop on these calls live from time to time. Obviously, I appreciate you guys all very much. And I understand that you guys are doing, different projects right now, which is why you guys are on the call. And for the people that were on this call tonight, I want to thank you guys personally, and I hope that I can bring you guys into my life and just be a friend to you, a mentor, because I really, really, really am passionate about what I do, and I love sharing my story. There's obviously depths to my story and what I'm going to be sharing every Sunday. This is something that I love doing, and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. I encourage you to do the same. Find your own voice. If you did go vote, that's a great thing. Hopefully, you voted for Biden Harris. Just a little political tip. I'm not a political person, but one of my friends once told me that if you don't have $100,000 or even $10 million, you shouldn't be voting for the Republican Party. If you're under that, you should just be a Democrat. They have better laws that are more flexed for people like you and me, which is why these calls are amazing, which is why I thank our leadership right now for allowing us to get back on track, for allowing us to get back to these calls, for allowing us to come together again to unite families all over the world and all over the United States as well. So I thank you guys for being on this call tonight. If you like what you hear, share it. Comment on it, comment what you like best. I would love to tailor Sunday calls to whatever problems, whatever needs, whatever desires you want in your life to happen, because that's what I truly care about. I care about the audience. I care about you. This is solely with the whole heart and the whole mind that I bring to everything that I do. I do this for you guys. I really do this for you guys. I don't do this for me. I've already done enough for me. I feel like I've have plenty of stories to share with people, and I truly want to share one or two things that can help impact your life every single Sunday. And I hope that you got something from this call today, because I did it from my entire heart, and I do that every single Sunday. I do that for every single one of our students. So I appreciate you for your time. Thank you. Blessings to you and your family. Have a happy Sunday, and thank you again. Love you guys, and thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys very much.